right, we get some special people in this studio from time to time.
Boy, do we ever.
Very special things.
Yes.
We have he's a dentist, he's a musician, he's an artist, he's a historian. I'm not sure there's many things he doesn't do, and he's here with us today.
Yes, his name is John Allen, and I'm standing, I think, far enough back from this amazing quilt, which we cannot touch because this quilt dates back to the 1800s. John, welcome to the show. You got to tell us a little bit about this, and we want to get to the story of your quilt.
Well, this quilt has been in the family for quite some time. My mom had it at first, and she took very good care of it. That's why it's still in good shape.
And 1887, Underground Railroad, I know it has some ties to that. How did you figure out how to put a story, I guess, related to this quilt together that people could experience themselves?
Well, basically by doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of people, consultants. I went to the Smithsonian and talked to quilt experts there. I took several trips to West Virginia and Ohio to follow my family members who were fugitive slaves.
Wow.
And we found a well-documented history. I found so much history about the family. That's why I wrote the book.
That's amazing.
Great. So the book is about this quilt, which is great. We've got, I'm sure it details everything, dating all the way back. How do we, and you just said the book is out right now, so we can actually get a story, we can get this book in our hands.
Yes. It's available online. It's available at Underground Bookstore here in Sacramento.
Right here.
Right, we can just go get a copy.
Street.
That's cool.
John, I got to ask, why is it important to keep stories like this, heritage, legacy of your heritage and others? Why is it important for us to keep these things alive?
Good question. Because there are things about this quilt that make it unique, and there's an erroneous designation for this quilt as a crazy quilt. Well, this quilt is not a crazy quilt. It goes way beyond the crazy quilt phenomenon. It actually is embedded with code, and if I can do this briefly here,
Sure.
I can explain
show us an example.
how these icons form a code. This is an icon for a village. If you were a traveler, you would use this quilt as a map.
Whoa.
This icon would tell you that there's a village, and you would get an idea of the size of this village by the number of divisions in this, this fan. There's another fan down here.
The red one there?
If you can see,
Got it.
see this one. This is another village representation, this icon. And the fan is tilted. You can see there's divisions on this fan. It's tilted. And the reason that is tilted is because the wind blows in that direction. It's just like if you were in Fairfield.
Yeah.
The wind always blows from the west.
Yes, it does.
Right.
The trees all lean, you know.
It's like a code.
So,
it's amazing.
Yeah. So I was able to decipher some of this quilt code, but I have to be careful because the Masons are going to have issue with it because there are some Masonic symbols. I cannot interpret those. It's not my business.
You can only do so much. You're a dentist and a musician and an author and historian. You're all these things. You can't be expected to do all of it. One thing I want to ask.
I was going to put. Is that a letter? Is that a G? Because it looks like a G.
Yeah, that's the Masons.
For Gary.
I picked that up. Yeah, I picked that up. I'm Gary Gelfand, so I just saw the G. Anyway, that's nothing to do with me at all, but it's amazing.
Maybe real quick, last question is, what does this help us think about as it relates to moving forward, the future? I mean, it clearly tells a story of the past, your history, your family's history, connections to this, but what can this teach us moving forward?
Well, it can hopefully bring us together, and because these neighborhoods that this quilt represented were integrated neighborhoods after the Reconstruction era, post-Civil War.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a picture of your mom up there?
That's my mom.
How about that?
She was very proud to take care of this quilt. And if I can diverge from the quilt for a minute, we can talk a little bit about my dad, who incidentally happens to be a graduate from UC Davis.
Hey, let's go.
Wow,
Go
UC
Ags.
Davis right here, another one right there. Well, I wish we had more time. We could just go on and on and on. We don't.
I love though that you're that it's in print, that people can follow you, can follow the story of the quilt, and what you put together with the book. It's an honor to meet you. Honored for you to share your story with us and everybody watching Studio 40 Live. Truly, nice job. And to your mom, to your dad, UC Davis grad, all of it. Congratulations.
And go out and get the book and learn more about this and more about this guy. Oh, I love that. That's great.
All right, information coming up. There it is. That's the book's website right there. John Allen, the great John Allen. We didn't even get in. He was a dentist. I mean, a dentist?
Great. He's great.
Come on, man. Musician. He's a performer, all of it. But make sure you get that book. Trafford.com is where you can find it online.